What up, YouTube? It's NoChainzz, and I am back for another commentary, and we are back for another episode of my New York Jets Connected Franchise mode here in Madden 15. And in this week 3, we are facing off against the Chicago Bears. I'm just taking a look at their stats. Jay Cutler playing terribly right now. Might be getting off to the worst start of his career. He'll be looking to get back on track against a ferocious New York Jets defense. Brandon Marshall playing decent, averaging 97 yards a game, not too shabby, up to his usual tricks. The defense is playing decently right now. Don't catch many interceptions. They don't get to the quarterback that much. So the storyline today, or the question is, if Geno Smith can keep up his high level of play. He's been able to lead this high octane offense, which is new to the Jets. They've never really had a high octane offense in the last few years, but the last 2 weeks they've been passing the ball effectively, even through the absence of Eric Decker last week. You guys saw that didn't slow down the Jets any. But what may be surprising is through the first 2 games, the Jets have acquired a top 3 ranking in offense. So let's find out if that ranking is true to the offense or if the first 2 weeks were a fluke. We'll find out here at MetLife versus the Chicago Bears, and we'll see how we can run the ball to open things up for Geno Smith in this passing game. So we get started with a 6-yard gain to Chris Johnson. We're running to the right side with him again. This time he picks up about 9 yards, and he is already off to a nice start. So we're going to Chris Ivory. He gets to the outside, dragging the defender along the way, and we are already into Bears territory. And Chris Ivory is hype. He always makes a play whenever I put him in. But Geno Smith shrugs off a tackle, finds a Merrill. He will break a tackle, and he'll turn that play that seemed like a disaster into about a gain of 12 yards that time. Geno Smith back to pass, rolling out to the right side, trying to find something. Gonna lob this one up to David Nelson, and he will tiptoe catch it and come down with the touchdown. David Nelson making a very athletic play. Very good hand-eye coordination, keeping his feet in bounds, taking possession of the ball and controlling it all the way through the fall. And you guys see that is a clear possession. Touchdown, New York Jets. We take the early lead versus the Chicago Bears. Jay Cutler and company back on offense, and they get a rare dropped pass by Brandon Marshall. Back again is Jay Cutler, looking, sees no one open, rolling around in the pocket, and is going to fire this one to the left side, but that will not be enough for the first down. So the Jets get the ball back. We're handing it off to Chris Johnson, but this time he goes nowhere. Good play by Lance Briggs that time. The Jets are now facing a 3rd and long situation. Empty backfield for Geno Smith as he changes the play at the line of scrimmage, trying to find an opening in the defense, but instead he forces this one into double coverage. Luckily he catches a break and it is dropped. Nonetheless, we do give the ball back to the Bears as they find Brandon Marshall over the middle, beating the coverage easily of Asante Samuel. Not the best man-to-man coverage cornerback, but this time they're going to hand it off to Matt Forte as he picks up about 12 yards on his first rush coming late in the first quarter. Empty backfield for Cutler on this 2nd and 6 situation. He is pressured immediately and will be brought down by Quentin Coples. You guys have seen him make plays for the first 2 weeks of the season, and in the 3rd week he does it again, and on the 2nd consecutive play, Jay Cutler will be sacked. A few plays later, Geno Smith will fire this one into Stephen Hill, beating the cover 2 defense for about a gain of 20 that time. 1st down and 10. Once again, empty backfield for Geno Smith. He will be sacked, brought down by Cornelius Washington, and that will force a 2nd down and long. Now on 3rd down and long, Geno Smith will find Jace Amaro, and he will not get to the 1st down marker. However, we will try for a Nick Folk field goal. Let's see if we can get one to go down. You guys know I am much less than automatic from that range, and Nick Folk will not be able to get 3 points on the board for the New York Jets. And the Bears have the ball back after the missed field goal, and they are on the move already. Martellus Bennett with a big play for Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler back to pass, rolling out to the left side. Doesn't know what he wants to do, but it will be brought down by Sheldon Richardson. However, it is only a loss of 2. 2nd down and 12. They're going to hand this one off to Matt Forte. He breaks the tackle of Asante Samuel, breaks another tackle, and breaks another, and turns that play, which should have been a loss of about 5, into a gain of about 4. So Jay Cutler going over the middle. This time it's Josh Morgan moving the chains for the offense. They are a few steps away from equalizing the game at 7. Jay Cutler facing pressure, going to go over the middle to Matt Forte. You guys know he can hurt the defense in the air just as well as he can on the ground. Very, very talented back. but Jeremiah George will take some of those yards back as he brings down Jay Cutler for the sack on the play. They are doing a terrible job of protecting their franchise quarterback. Second down and goal, and he will throw an interception to Calvin Pryor. Calvin Pryor coming up with the big play, going low, making sure he got his hands under that ball and intercepting the pass. So first down and 10 after the takeaway by the defense. We're handing it off to Chris Johnson. He breaks a tackle and gets us to the 44-yard line. Big play using his breakaway speed that time. We're going screen this time though to Chris Ivory. He gets a nice block and gets this one for about 15 yards. This running back tandem is doing a big part in creating offense for the New York Jets. This time on third down, Geno Smith will almost be intercepted for the second time today. However, the defensive back did not have good enough hands to make it happen. And once again, we stall and get a missed field goal by Nick Folk. So that gives the Bears the ball back. Our offense hasn't been able to create anything, although we've been playing great defense. We are pitching a shutout, trying to go into half without allowing a touchdown or a field goal right now. So third down and 19. It looks like we may get off the field, and we bring down Matt Forte before he can get going. So it looks like we'll go into half with a score of 7-0 over the Chicago Bears. Brandon Marshall playing well, Jay Cutler not playing too well, turned the ball over when they could have scored. However, our offense had a very nice first drive, but other than that, haven't been able to really create anything further than around the 30-yard line. And you guys know we really have to get touchdowns or get inside the red zone in order for Nick Folk to make a field goal. And like I said, I know I suck at field goals. Trust me, I'll get better. But Geno Smith, there's the touchdown pass. Very nice play by him, rolling out, keeping the play alive, using his legs and finding an open David Nelson, whose defender actually came up a little bit due to the threat of Geno Smith making a play with his legs instead of his arm. But the offense hasn't really lived up to its number 3 ranking in the league as far as total offense. But there is an entire half to play. They do have ample time to get it back on track. Outside of that first drive, though, actually have to curate something and finish off their drives. By Alshon Jeffrey with 2 straight receptions on comeback routes, we really have to get a handle on that if we want to stop this Bears offense. So Jay Cutler back to pass, not under any pressure, going to fire this one in to Martellus Bennett, and that is a nice gain. They are getting closer to the red zone, so they actually have a chance to tie this thing up. Third down and 9. Jay Cutler looking around, can't find anybody, but Muhammad Wilkerson will get to him before he can make a throw, and that is Muhammad's 3rd sack of the night. They are doing a terrible job protecting Jay Cutler, and Chris Ivory will break off a nice run and get us out of the danger zone. From the 26-yard line, we're going toss to Chris Johnson. He reaches the outside, shrugs off a tackle on his way to about a gain of 12. He has 85 yards now on the day. So second down and 3, we're going to Jeremy Curley, and he will fumble the football. Luckily, Chris Johnson was right there to dive on top of it. However, we still face third down and 10. Geno Smith lobs this one up deep to David Nelson, and he will come down with it inbounds and get us to the 23-yard line. After a holding penalty, we are facing first down and 20. Shaq Evans shrugging off a few tackles on his way to about a gain of 12 that time. Third down and 8. Geno Smith is going to the end zone to Stephen Hill, and he snatches it out of the air and comes down with the touchdown for the New York Jets, and we go up 14-0. We finally got that elusive second touchdown on the game. We scored on the first drive and then did not score until late in the third quarter. So we finally end that dry spell. So we are back on defense. Third down and 7 for Cutler and company. Gonna dump this one off to Matt Forte, and he will be brought down by David Harris as the punt team comes out to the field. After receiving the punt, the Jets face third down and 3. We're going to Chris Johnson. He gets about 7 yards on the play. He is over 100 yards on a day. First down and 10. We're going to Ivory this time. He takes it to the outside and gets about 7 yards that time. And it's looking like we may increase our lead to 21 if we can do this right. We're handing it off to Chris Ivory. He absorbs the contact on his way to a gain of about 15 that time. Second down and 10. Geno Smith wide open, Jace Amaro, and he will get the first down on a gain of 11. First down and 10. We're going shotgun handoff to Chris Johnson again, and that is an effective formation to run the ball with Chris Johnson. But this time we're just going to hand it off to him on the outside, and he will easily get into the end zone. So Chris Johnson adds a touchdown to his stat line. and we increase our lead to 21. 2 passing touchdowns for Geno Smith, 1 rushing touchdown for Chris Johnson. We are firing on all cylinders as Muhammad Wilkerson creates a new career high with 4 sacks. 3rd down and 13 for the Bears. Jay Cutler just holding on to the ball for too long, and Barnes will bring down Jay Cutler, and that is his 2nd of the day. So we get the ball back, empty backfield for Geno Smith, and he will be taken down. So let's just see if they can establish any dignity and get on the board, or if the Jets can pitch the shutout. They're going to go out route to Josh Morgan. He will be brought down at about the 24-yard line. So it's looking like they're going to get some garbage points. We pretty much know we won the game. But there's Alshon Jeffrey. He's been playing very well versus us. 3rd down and goal. Jay Cutler's back to pass. Going to find Brandon Marshall for the touchdown, and they decrease our lead to 14. The game is riding on this onside kick. However, even if they did get it, I don't feel like they would win the game. But nonetheless, we do get the onside kick. We recover it, secure it, and we will go on to win this game 21-7 over the Chicago Bears. Great game offensively. Geno Smith, once again for the 3rd week straight, mistake free, no giveaways, no fumbles, no interceptions. He is playing very well on the young season. Let's see if he can keep it up. We are in the top 5 in offense, actually the top 3, and that is very, very good considering Geno Smith had a lot of question marks surrounding him after his performance as a rookie, and not to mention we're doing it without our best wide receiver. So we're doing it with the unheralded guys, the guys that don't get a lot of fame but are playmakers like Shaq Evans, Stephen Hill. We're getting it done right now. Chris Johnson, 24 rushes for 139 yards. Jay Cutler not able to get his season back on track. He did throw a touchdown, but did throw an interception in the red zone to Calvin Pryor, and that would be his first career interception for the rookie. So that is good for Calvin Pryor. Hopefully that will be the first of many. And like I said, Jay Cutler did not get his season back on track. He was under pressure all day, and I can't entirely put the blame on him. The offensive line did a terrible job of protecting him. And when you don't get protection, when you're constantly under duress, you're going to have days like that. So for their sake, I hope they get it together. But Calvin Pryor got a lot of points after that game. So I'm going to be wrapping up the video by doing a little bit of point attribute purchases for Calvin Pryor after he had a very nice game. Probably his best game so far as a pro. But Geno Smith and company, we have to see if they can keep this up. They are now 3-0 on the season. Let's see if the defense can continue to play at a high level and the offense can as well. Find out in the next episode of the New York Jets Connected Franchise Mode, and I'll see you guys then. Later.